Good morning. I'm Gary DeWaal, and this is Bridging the Week for October 14th to 18th, and today is October 21st, 2019. The Group of 7 working group on stablecoins conceded utilization of stablecoins might help address the lack of access to financial services by a large portion of the world's population and inefficient cross-border retail payments. However, the Intergovernmental Organization solely identified obstacles to stablecoin rollout without suggesting any practical ways to expedite their introduction. Separately, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority published its annual findings of not-so-best practices at member firms. Unfortunately, I am still recovering from the excitement of the American League playoff games this past weekend, so I can catch my breath as soon as possible. Let's get started. The Group of 7 Intergovernmental Economic Organization issued a report on stablecoins noting that, quote, a well-founded, clear, and transparent legal basis in all relevant jurisdictions is a prerequisite for any stablecoin arrangement, end of quote. Quote, however, the G7's working group on stablecoins, the author of the report, noted that subtle differences in structure in stablecoins could have profound differences in how such instruments are regarded not only in single jurisdictions, but across borders. The working group acknowledged that stablecoins could serve as a mean of payment and store of value and, quote, potentially foster the development of global payment arrangements that are faster, cheaper, and more inclusive than present arrangements, end of quote. There is a need for such arrangements, said the working group, because while domestic payments are well accommodated, a large portion of the world's population do not have access to financial services, and cross-border retail payments are inefficient. The report noted that while initial virtual currencies such as Bitcoin endeavor to address these issues, they have to date, quote, suffered from highly volatile prices, limits to scalability, complicated user interfaces, and issues in governance and regulation, among other challenges. During the same week that the G7 working group expressed theoretical views about stablecoins, J. Christopher Giancarlo, former chair of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and Daniel Gorfine, former head of the CFTC's Lab CFTC, called for the development of a U.S. dollar stablecoin. Under their proposed idea, USD stablecoins would be created and maintained by an independent, non-governmental group administered by banks and other trusted third parties, and cash backing the stablecoin would be maintained in escrow accounts at the Federal Reserve. Despite acknowledging the inefficiency of cross-border retail payments and that a large portion of the world's population do not have access to financial services, and recognizing that stablecoins might offer a possible solution, the G7 working group failed to recommend any path to facilitate an expedited rollout of global stablecoins. More of the same. In a speech earlier this year, Securities and Exchange Commissioner Hester Peirce pointed out the difficulty of rolling out new innovative solutions generally because of lawmakers' and regulators' skepticism of change. She ain't kidding. For more details on the G7 report and my view on all of this, check out the article version of Bridging the Week at www.bridgingtheweek.com. And finally, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority issued its annual report of examination findings and observations at member firms. The report echoed many themes of last year's examination summary and identified numerous lapses observed at members involving supervision, especially supervision of member obligations related to suitability, controls over digital communication, anti-money laundering, business continuity plans, and direct market controls, as well as regarding other obligation. FINRA only identified practices some firms have taken to strengthen their cybersecurity risk management programs without noting any weaknesses, however. I always found examination overviews or similar documents published by regulators very helpful. This was not necessarily because I found issues spotted by regulations relevant to the situation of the firm I was employed by, although very often I did, but because it caused me to reflect on our policies and compliance procedures more generally and to think about areas for possible enhancements. My reaction to this current FINRA overview is no different. Check out further details and my view regarding this matter in the article version of Bridging the Week. You know where. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Bridging the Week. As always, there's more information in each article and more articles on the article version of Bridging the Week on the website. Check it out. I'm Gary DeWaal. Have a nice week, and until the next edition of Bridging the Week, ciao.